Hey everyone, welcome. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today. Think of me as your friendly mentor as we walk through today's explainer on, honestly, one of the most elegant and practical concepts in software design, the decorator pattern. You know, if you've ever found yourself writing super rigid code, or you're just pulling your hair out trying to add new features to a system without breaking everything else, well, you are in exactly the right place. Our goal today is to break this pattern down completely. We're going to build your intuition step by step, taking it from a relatable, real-world concept all the way to a formal programming structure.
Okay, let's dive into this. Imagine you're running a really bustling car service shop. You offer multiple services, right? Oil changes, tire rotations, brake pad replacements, maybe a premium car wash. Now, how do you actually calculate the final bill to charge your customer? You certainly don't have a single massive price catalog with a unique price for literally every single combination of services someone could ask for. I mean, that would be a total nightmare to maintain. If you offer just 10 different services, the number of possible combinations is, well, it's massive. So how does the shop actually handle it?
Right, exactly. You pick one base service, maybe just your standard oil change, and you dynamically keep adding the prices for the extra services to it until you get the final cost. Need a tire rotation? Just add that price to the running total. New air filter? Add that too. You're building the final object, the customer's bill in this case, completely on the fly, based entirely on what's needed in that specific moment. In the programming terminology we're exploring today, each type of service you tack onto that bill is essentially acting as a decorator. It takes the original bill, tacks on its own cost, and passes it right along.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how this concept maps perfectly to another everyday experience, making a custom coffee. Let's look at how this works step by step. First, we have our base, which is a simple, plain coffee implementing our core coffee interface. But, we want our code to be extensible. We want to allow options to modify it if required. So we create add-ons. I want you to imagine these add-ons as transparent wrappers. You take your base coffee, and you slide a milk wrapper over it. It's still coffee, but now it has milk. Then you slide a whip wrapper over that. Finally, a vanilla wrapper. Each wrapper is a decorator. As it wraps around the cup, it adds its specific cost to the total and appends its specific ingredient to the description. With that visual in mind, let's bridge the gap between our coffee cup analogy and the actual programming terminology. In plain words, the decorator pattern lets you dynamically change the behavior of an object at runtime by wrapping them in an object of a decorator class. The absolute key phrase to emphasize there is at runtime. We aren't hard-coding some crazy simple coffee with milk and whip and vanilla class when we compile our code. Instead, we're giving our program the flexibility to assemble these pieces on the fly, exactly when the user orders it, simply by taking our base object and wrapping it up.
So the crucial point is, if the technical jargon ever feels a little dense, just remember our friendly mentor translation. The decorator pattern is simply stacking extras on top of a base object, one wrapper at a time. That's it. It's building a customized final product out of modular, snap-on pieces, rather than trying to manufacture a million different rigid, pre-made variations. You start with a core, and you literally just nest it inside these transparent layers of extra functionality.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because this brings us to a formal definition and a really vital distinction: decorator versus inheritance. Wikipedia notes that this pattern allows behavior to be added to an individual object without affecting the behavior of other objects from the same class. If we use traditional inheritance to add milk and whip, we'd have to create a permanent rigid subclass, right? Like coffee with milk and whip. By using decorators instead, we completely avoid that dreaded subclass explosion. Notice that distinction. If I have two simple coffee objects and I wrap one of them in a milk decorator, the second coffee object remains completely untouched. I'm adding behavior to an individual instance, not globally altering the entire blueprint of the class. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly when to use the decorator pattern. Whenever you have a system with lots of optional behaviors that need to be mixed and matched, decorators adhere perfectly to the single responsibility principle. Instead of one giant tangled coffee class trying to manage every single permutation, each wrapper has its own unique area of concern. The simple coffee class, it only cares about being basic coffee. The milk decorator class only cares about adding milk's cost and description. The whip class only cares about the whip. Nobody is stepping on anyone else's toes.
However, just a quick mentor warning on when not to use this. If the order of your wrappers strictly matters, or if you end up with an unreadable stack of like 50 tiny decorators, well, debugging can become an absolute nightmare. But when used correctly, it brings us to a beautifully simple final result. After taking our base coffee, wrapping it in milk, wrapping that in whip, and finally wrapping that in vanilla, we can just ask the outermost wrapper for the total cost. That vanilla wrapper asks the whip asks the milk
The milk asks the base coffee, and the totals just cascade back up to give us our final computed price. It is incredibly clean, it's infinitely scalable, and highly extensible. So now that you've seen how effectively we can stack these transparent layers to build complex behaviors from simple parts, I'll leave you with this to think about. What rigid, overly complex classes in your current codebase could you start breaking down into elegant, stackable wrappers today? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and happy coding.